Alright, good morning everybody. I'm at the TA truck stop in Baileytown, Virginia right now. I'm getting ready to go make my delivery. It's about 125 or so miles, something like that from here. Or actually I'm in I'm in Tennessee still, I think. Yeah, still got about 40 miles of Tennessee to do, and then the rest will be in Virginia. As soon as this trash truck goes by, I'm gonna get rolling. I'm gonna have the freeway part accelerated again, so for the interest of keeping the video from being too long. And we're gonna have plenty of footage for city driving, whatever, or off interstate, whatever you want to call it. Clear already, clear left, clear right. Okay, we're gonna come over here to I-81 and head northbound. Should be about it'll be about a 2.5 hour drive. Technically I can get there in barely 2 hours. I have a 6 a.m. appointment time. But I will have some miles to run on smaller roads. So I'm expecting it'll take a little bit longer, like closer to 2.5 hours. I have a couple of different ways I can go. I can either go up to the Whitfield area and take I-77 northbound a short distance from there, and then cut back down to whatever it's called, Blueville or Blue Ridge. I don't know what it's called. It's something like that. That's about 20 extra miles to the trip going that way, but it's not much slower. Yeah, it's maybe at most 5 minutes slower. So I am thinking about going ahead and going all the way up to Whitfield and then cutting up and then coming back down. I think it's US 52 and 460. So we get into Baileytown. It's minimize the amount of time I spend off the interstate. However, I don't know, it's I can also take US 58 alternate and US 19 up. Just haven't decided yet if I really want to do that. If I do decide to do that, it looks like I would pick up exit 14 perhaps. I can take you 58 alternate. I might go and do that just for the fun of taking something different. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I was leaning toward possibly taking 19 straight up to the highway that my customer is off of, which is State Route 102. Is this a Wiener wagon? Yeah, sure is. I didn't think he was going to check up for me, but he did. There was a long nose here getting ready to pass me, but he backed off to let me over. So I give him a thank you flash there. Sometimes these Wiener wagons are even faster than me, but once in a while I get one that's a lease truck and or a million miler or somebody who can outrun me. I don't see Cooper trucks very much in my neck of the woods, but I do seem to recall I do run faster than them, if I remember right. I forget they even exist until I'm actually out here, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that company. Okay, from here we're going to do accelerated speed, alright? I don't want to have a whole entire, like, 3-hour long video, whatever. I can have it a little bit shorter for you guys. Don't mind the music, just mute it if you don't want to hear it. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, I don't know. But alright. guys, I've got a truck only rest area coming up here. I'm going to stop briefly at it. And the very next exit after this will be where I'll be getting off the road and getting on US 58 alternate. So yeah, I might go ahead and take that route up instead of through Woodville. Staying for the exit? Yeah, it is. I don't know if I'll find hopefully I'll find a place where I can park at least just for a few minutes. This hour I'm not really expecting much, but I don't know, could get lucky. Actually right here behind these guys, unless there's an open spot. Actually, yeah, looks like there might be some more space behind trucks up here. And, you know, I never know. I could get lucky and find a open stall as well. I'll probably end up just stopping temporarily behind somebody. Yeah, that's not an open spot there. Put it right here behind this skateboard driver. Just be here a few minutes and we'll continue our journey. So, ready to roll again. Truck wants to regen a little bit. It's not idling high enough to regen though, and I do an auto regen while driving. Didn't say I have to do a parked regen anyway. Very next exit up here, State Route 140 over to US 19 is the one I'm going to be taking. Check my head mirror, make sure there's nobody coming over there. Nope, I don't see anybody. Here to Abindgon. Getting off here and turning left. Head west over to US 19. Or actually, well, it's 58 alternate. Take me across over to US 19. Then I can take 19 all the way up. I'm gonna need my left turn sitting over here anyway. Come back through this way on the way back down because I do have a pre-plan already to pick up a load down in Tennessee, down there on the south end of I-81. I forget the name. Is it Morristown? I think it is, something like that. It's actually real close to where I just got fuel yesterday. 19 North. Oh, Bluefield, that's what it's called, yeah. Looks like we are all clear over this way. Zone through here. It's going to be off and on, going through a few towns on the way up and rural. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video footage on the rural areas, especially with this particular video being at night. Again, in the interest of keeping the video from being excessively long. I will be coming back through here probably during daylight hours after I'm done with my delivery. As I mentioned, I will have to come back down this way to get to my next shipper. That load will be going from Morristown, Tennessee to Milan, Missouri. Trucks prohibited on Highway 11. Use 19, it says. Well, I plan to take 19 anyway. Alright, I need this lane. 15, 1, whatever. Obviously, I can go this way when I see another truck here. I mean, I can get under that bridge at least if I see another van truck, whatever. Okay, so if I stayed straight ahead, that's 11. Basically, they just don't want, I don't think they want trucks here in town on 11. I've used 11 before. In fact, there are a lot of places here on Highway 11 that trucks need to be on 11 for. This guy's going to Bluefield also or something. I don't know. It's a little bit peculiar that another truck can be on here at this hour. Maybe, I don't know. There's probably some stuff up here. He's got a faster looking truck than me though, and I'll probably stay behind him. I don't do speeding in towns anyway. Bluefield is 79 miles away. Hansonville should be the next one, 13 miles out, it looks like. Hanson 12, Norton 51, and Bluefield 78. So I can probably out and accelerate this guy right now, but then I'll probably just end up in his way once we get out of town. That's what I'm guessing will be the case, so I'm not in any hurry to try to go around him. A little bit of courtesy, especially on U.S. highways that could end up being one lane in each direction. I don't want to be in his way if I don't need to be. starting to pull away from me, even though I was already doing about 5 over the speed limit. About 5 over is as much as I'm willing to go. Stone Mountain Road. All the way or something. This guy's holding me up now, so. The 45 zones, and it caused him to catch back up. It doesn't look like this light's gonna change on me. 70 miles out now from Bluefield. Gonna climb here. High beams longer. It's going to be a short-lived use of the highs here. Yep. Like another truck there. Public boat landing. State Route 690. Yeah, looks like a flatbedder, perhaps. Flatbedder or a county driver? Flatbedder. Russell County, leaving Washington County. Route 676 coming up here. Alternate westbound, turn left here to Norton. Keep going ahead and to the right for Bluefield. Welcome to the heart of Appalachia wine region. Appalachian wine country, huh? 66 out from Bluefield now. Far south of Lebanon now. We have maybe a couple more turns to go, and then maybe a couple more miles as well, whatever. And I'll be in Lebanon, Virginia. It is. If you guys if you skipped ahead or anything like that. State Route 657 here, Green Valley Road. Lebanon High School, yeah, right. Oh, now I can go 65, even better. Yeah, now we're out of the hills and curves, it looks like. I'm expecting one more right curve coming up before I get into the Lebanon area, the actual Lebanon. The 65 zone tells me that the terrain will get easier to deal with now. Probably won't be as curvy or hilly now. Next two exits. Oh, that's good. So it's turned into a limited access road up here. That's what it sounds like. got downhill run now into the rest of Lebanon, or I assume this is, their city right here in front of me. I don't have my map up. I tend to not like having any kind of display, electronic display stuff up when I'm driving at night. It tends to be more, it tends to make me more sleepy. Not to mention it's a little more distracting, and it puts more demand on my eyes, I guess. I don't know the word. I don't know the words I want to use to explain that. Pressure vessel group, whatever the hell that is. So I've got a Walmart store here on the right. Alright, north end of the 19 business loop right here. Bluefield, 56 miles away. It's roughly an hour or so. Put me there between 5:15 and 5:30. I have a 6 a.m. appointment, so just about right. Read on reviews on the customer, and also I'll say check in up to an hour early, no more. No more than an hour early. Yet. Last sign I saw said 45. Looks like we should be back at 55 though. Stay around 656. Modern, is that Chevy Modern Super Center or something like that. Milk Garden cutoff there. Hill Garden Junction. Speed limit sign ahead. I can't read it yet, but I see there is one up here. So it appears to be one. Alright, stay Route 80 eastbound here. 55 zone, that's what I thought. Alright, 5.1 miles to go to Bluefield. services. Interstate Park. And State Route 80 westbound split off here also. Out now from Bluefield. Route 775 here, and 764. If you're new to the channel, I do tend to mention like highways that I cross. So that way, if you decide you want to follow along on the map while you're watching this, you have a pretty good idea of what's where. Because I know a lot of people watch on mobile devices, but it's also common for my regular viewers to sometimes watch on both mobile and or even a desktop or something. State Route 643. Looks like it could have been a fire department or something there on the right side. I couldn't read it though, too dark. Too dark and not lit up. State Route 1045. Yates, East States Road, something like that. Watch for fallen rocks. You're looking forward to coming through here during the daylight hours. See how it looks. There's a lot. I can tell there's stuff here that I can't really see right now, but be interested in at least getting a better look at during the daytime hours. $7.82. To use behind me because I thought that might have been a car at first, but it's just a street light or something. Fellowship Baptist Church, it looks like. Small little driveway and bridge to get across the water there to it. Pretty scenic coming through here though. Tazewell County, leaving, what was it, Russell County? Southwest Virginia Community College. Way station, half mile ahead, closed. I don't know what town this is, but I'm about 40, and just under 40 miles out now from the from Bluefield, whatever. That I would have, you would have pulled away from me by now. See Route 719. Like, I don't know, got some, you know, not necessarily traffic. Well, I do see a traffic light up ahead, but I don't think it's, yeah. Oh, never mind. Flashy there is for the upcoming light. It's green right now, but I'll definitely keep my speed. Oh yeah, never mind. It's speed limit's dropping to 45 on top of it. Eastbound right here, as well as 19. So joining up with 460, that'll take me right into Bluefield as well. 35 miles out. I gotta watch these lights because again, they're usually timed with the car's stopping ability in mind and not a truck. So I usually try to be usually try to go a few miles an hour slower than the speed limit, at least good, they're close to 500. Starting to see more four-wheeler activity out here too, so it's coming up on about 4:45 now, local time. Look like the early birds going to work, whatever, are starting to stir. Just at the, you know, just to start with. Walmart diesel. Alright, got another Walmart up here. I have no idea what town I'm in. I don't have my map up. I don't know if Walmart's the name of the town or if it's just the name of that company that runs that sells that fuel there. Watch for more fallen rock. Back to 55 we go. Looks like there was some fallen rock right there next to the side of the cliff there too. .37. In the low to mid 50s, I would say. I'm still on I-81, and it's down to 41 now.
August 12, 2019, 12:10 p.m. Last updated, January 11, 2025, 01 a.m. Sometime in the past 10 years or so, all of us have heard or read the remark, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. National Rifle Association (NRA) Executive Vice President Wayne LaPierre uttered the phrase barely a week after the school shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut, that killed 27 children and educators. LaPierre was arguing that to protect the nation's children, the country needed to station an armed police officer in every U.S. school. Law enforcement officers are, almost by definition, the good guys, but a fair inference from LaPierre's statement is that any good citizen with a gun can stop an armed bad one. There is anecdotal evidence of that. Another possible inference to be drawn from LaPierre's statement is that carrying a gun is or should be legal. Of the 50 states and the District of Columbia, only 6 ban open carrying of a handgun: California, the District of Columbia, Florida, New York and South Carolina, and only 7 ban open carrying of long guns, rifles and shotguns, according to data from the Giffords Law Center. They are California, the District of Columbia, Florida, Illinois, Massachusetts, Minnesota and New Jersey. Another 20 either require a permit to openly carry a handgun or place some other restriction on open carrying in public places. Only 5 states, Iowa, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Utah and Virginia, restrict, but do not prohibit, open carrying of long guns. In states with open carry laws, law enforcement agencies may not be able quickly to distinguish a real threat from a legal open carry. At a 2016 mass shooting in Dallas in which 5 police officers were shot and killed, the presence of some 30 people legally carrying long guns made it difficult for police to sort the good guys from the bad. Unlike laxer open carry rules, carrying a concealed weapon generally requires a state-issued permit in 35 states, while 15 states have no restrictions on concealed carry. Only 8 of the 35 states that require permits have enacted what are called may issue laws, which grant state authorities wide discretion to deny a concealed carry permit to an applicant. In the other 27 states, authorities shall issue a concealed carry permit, and 14 of those the states allow no discretion to the permit issuing authority. Note that a 2017 study found that merely seeing a gun can increase aggression. The researchers noted, naive meta-analytic results indicate that the mere presence of weapons increased aggressive thoughts, hostile appraisals, and aggression, suggesting a cognitive route from weapons to aggression. Right to carry laws, whether open or concealed, tend to increase violent crime. A 2019 study found that right to carry laws are associated with 13 to 15% higher aggregate violent crime rates 10 years after adoption. Another study reported in 2017 found that shall issue laws were significantly associated with 6.5% higher total homicide rates, 8.6% higher firearm homicide rates, and 10.6% higher handgun homicide rates, but were not significantly associated with long gun or non-firearm homicide. While state laws vary widely, there is one nationwide law that limits open or concealed carrying of firearms. In a federal circuit ruling known as Georgia Carry, Warwick v. Georgia, the court ruled the right to bear arms granted by the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution does not supersede a fundamental right to exclude arms from private property. That means that businesses may legally ban firearms and other weapons from their premises. Full stop. Stores like Target, which in 2014, respectfully requested its shoppers to leave their guns at home, received heated blowback from some gun owners, have persevered. Others, like Walmart,
bridge here.
sells guns in its U.S.
So don't try to come through here with a 14-foot trailer. They do exist,
carry is legal. But
I'll be
Walmart is
fine.
somewhat of an exception. Gun sales
My truck
policies
is
have been changing in the
13.6, so
country.
I'll
These are
fit,
the
but
big
it's gonna be
American
low.
retailers that don't sell guns. CNBC has posted a list of unusual places where people can bring a gun. These include most churches, except in some states where concealed carry in churches is banned, casinos in most states, bars and restaurants, most airports but not
Honestly, that
airplanes,
looked like
voter
it was higher than
registration and polling
13.7.
places, hospitals, national parks, libraries
lot,
and several
but it
others. In addition to Target, guns have been banned at cinema chains like AMC, Carmike and Cinemark, eateries like Buffalo Wild Wings, Hooters and Starbucks, and at dozens, if not hundreds, of shopping malls across the country. Simon Property Group, which owns or holds an interest in more than 200 U.S. shopping malls, does not allow firearms at its malls. Of the 100 largest U.S. retailers last year, just 7 sold firearms of any kind.
Fort
A
Whitney.
new study out earlier
Crab
this
Orchard
year from
Museum.
researchers at Boston U.
Pause that for a second. State Route 632, got 19 and 460 business route here. Dayswell 4 miles away, Bluefield 23. Now we're just getting into the south end of Dayswell now.
A new study out earlier this year from researchers at Boston University found that the kind of gun control that is most likely to work is one specific type, and it has nothing to do with banning weapons. 24/7 Wall Street. Worst cities to raise children. Get our free investment newsletter.
Alright. So, more aggressive thoughts when a firearm is present, but not necessarily crime is. Or well, I thought it said that homicides were up, all but you know, and then some of that could be justifiable homicide as well. I don't know all that. There's a lot of detail on those statistics that don't sound like they were being covered by that article. Daysville, next 4 exits.
Is high-speed rail the future of U.S. transportation? Mike Bieberns, Senior Editor. April 10, 2021, 6:53 a.m. 6 minutes read. The 360 shows you diverse perspectives on the day's top stories and debates. What's happening? The elements of President Biden's massive infrastructure plan are so broad, the proposal has sparked a debate over just how far the definition of the word infrastructure can stretch. One of the biggest surprises to infrastructure experts, however, was something that isn't in the plan: high-speed rail. Many transportation observers believe Biden might be the president to bring the super-fast trains, common in Europe and Asia, to the United States. Famous for commuting to Washington, D.C., on Amtrak during his days in the Senate, Biden has called for a second great railroad revolution, and had championed high-speed rail projects while serving as vice president. Biden's pick for Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, has said he wants the U.S. to be leading the world in high-speed rail. The infrastructure bill does include $80 billion to improve and expand the nation's railroads, on top of $85 billion for public transit in general. But at the moment, none of those funds are designated for high-speed rail projects. The world's first high-speed rail line began operating in Japan in 1964. Today that country has a network of trains that carry more than 420,000 riders on a typical weekday at speeds of over 200 miles per hour. A series of high-speed rail systems connect Europe's major cities. China has poured enormous sums into developing the world's most extensive high-speed rail network, with more than 23,000 miles of track and trains that top out at 267 miles per hour. Although American presidents have expressed interest in high-speed rail since as far back as the 1960s, no trains currently operating in the U.S. can reach 200 miles per hour. Why there's debate. Advocates for high-speed rail say the U.S. has fallen behind other developed countries, where super-fast trains allow for efficient, reliable travel between cities. Supporters say clusters of high-speed railways connecting urban centers in the Northeast, the South and the West Coast would boost the economy by cutting workers' commuting times and spurring development along train lines. Many environmentalists argue that high-speed rail could reduce Americans' reliance on auto and plane travel, a major step in combating climate change. Skeptics, however, say that high-speed rail isn't the right solution for America. They argue that the nation's specific conditions, like the significant distance between major cities, the difficulty of securing land along train routes and the high cost of infrastructure projects, make creating a nationwide high-speed rail system unfeasible. They point to California, where a bold plan for lines running from, which would become America's first high-speed rail service, could be completed by 2029.
Okay, real quick, you're about 20 miles out now from Bluefield.
California's smaller train line, which would become America's first high-speed rail service, could be completed by 2029. Perspectives. Supporters. High-speed rail would fuel economic growth. While a long, slow train ride across the country can be a great thing, the U.S. needs real high-speed rail too. That's especially true between big cities that are close to each other but currently require hours of driving or the hassle of a flight to move between. These cities form one of the great economic and political corridors of the entire world. They should have a reliable and super-fast bullet train zipping between them. Gabriel Lee, Forbes. America has fallen behind the rest of the world. Rail is a microcosm of America's growing infrastructure investment needs. And compared to other advanced nations, the U.S. from San Francisco to San Diego has been dramatically scaled back after years of delays and billions of dollars in cost overruns. What's next? For now, Biden's plan appears focused on improving the country's traditional rail infrastructure, though negotiations among lawmakers could change the specifics of the proposal substantially before it reaches a vote in Congress. California's smaller train line system is painfully outdated. Eugene Daniels, Politico. More train passengers means less car traffic. Major metropolitan areas in the U.S. are in serious need of an overhaul when it comes to transportation infrastructure. Investments into a high-speed rail system wouldn't just improve the railroads, automobile traffic could also see some relief. Warren Spanton, Cheddar. The U.S. needs big transportation solutions that highways can't provide. We've gone for a long time starving infrastructure, transportation in particular. We need big ideas. We need to think like it's 1932. It's time to invest in fundamental pieces of infrastructure that work for everybody. In the Northeast, there just isn't the room to build more highways. Our destiny has got to be moving people more efficiently. Transportation development advocate Douglas McGarrett to CT Mirror. High-speed rail is crucial to curbing climate change. This is the larger existential question. How can the United States rise to meet the challenges posed by climate change and continue to be a leader in economic and technological innovation if it can't rise above personal squabbles and local politics to build a single high-speed rail line? Editorial, Los Angeles Times. Train travel is more pleasant than cars or planes. I am obsessed with trains. I love trains. I think trains are the most civilized way to travel. Joy Reid, MSNBC. Skeptics. High-speed rail is a fantasy. Determining the best way to deploy finite government spending on infrastructure upgrades requires a serious analysis of the costs and benefits of different projects, not daydreaming about how cool trains are. Eric Boehm, Reason. Many of America's big cities are too far apart to connect with rail lines. In other places of the world, such as China, Europe and Japan, major population centers are much closer to each other. And big cities that are reasonably close together is pretty much a prerequisite for high-speed rail, which is why they have it and we don't. Imagine what it would take to build a line from New York City to Los Angeles, or to Chicago, Houston or Phoenix. Megan McArdle, Washington Post. There isn't a large enough customer base to support expensive rail projects. Most riders of Chinese high-speed trains were previously riders of conventional trains. The trains attracted few if any out of cars or airplanes. Amtrak doesn't carry enough passengers to justify high-speed trains. Randall O'Toole, Cato Institute. The money would be better spent on improving local railway systems. We don't have nearly enough commuter rails for most families to justify selling their cars. Liberals are right that America has a car problem, but it's commutes, not road trips, that suck. This means dropping the grand goals of red-eye rail rides between Seattle and Manhattan and instead getting people to their jobs. Tiana Lowe, Washington Examiner. Building a nationwide high-speed rail system would consume too many resources. High-speed rail is bold and attention-grabbing, but the scale of the project makes it near impossible. Gabby Byronbaum, Vox. Emerging green technologies will make high-speed rail unnecessary. By the time any significant high-speed rail project begins service in the United States, it is likely that a large proportion of new cars will be electric, thereby limiting carbon savings from additional passenger rail service. Mark Job, The Hill. Is there a topic you...
You didn't realize what it takes to create all that equipment needed to have that clean energy. That's what I find amusing about that is, yeah, it saves, the vehicles save on that, but what's it cost to produce electricity, or what are the effects on whatever, what it takes to create the electricity needed to keep them charged up, or to produce all the batteries and all that stuff before they even sell a vehicle. How do we quantify that? I don't know. I'm sure there have been studies done. I'm just not an an expert on that myself. Haven't done any research on that. But I suspect there are plenty of trade-offs involved. Okay, I'm 1.5 miles out now from Bluefield.
Is there a topic you'd like to see covered in the 360? Send your suggestions to the 360@yahoonews.com.
680 right
Read
there.
more, 360S. Should the U.S. rejoin the Iran nuclear deal? Should corporations take a stand on voting rights? Should the Tokyo Olympics be canceled because of COVID? Photo illustration. Yahoo News. Photos. Getty Images. Article 160 of 183. Farmer finds car wedged in his truck, 2 people dead inside. Fox News, yesterday. Bennington, BT. The driver of a large farm vehicle in Vermont arrived at his field to find a car wedged in the frame and the 2 occupants dead inside, police say. The driver of the farm vehicle, a truck equipped to spread fertilizer, told Bennington police he thought he had blown a tire as he drove on Vermont Route 9. But police say a car driven by Charles Schichtel, 85, had rear-ended the vehicle. He and Lorani Schichtel, 82, both of Petersburg, New York, were pronounced dead. The driver of the farm truck was not injured. Police continue to investigate the crash. Article 161 of 183. Putin so upset over Biden's killer comments he moved 28,000 Russian troops to Ukraine border, report Fox News 2 days ago. Vladimir Putin was reportedly so angered when President Joe Biden called him a killer. In his first sit-down interview after taking office, the Russian president left his quarantine, got a COVID vaccination and moved 28,000 Russian troops to the border with Ukraine. It was really a shock. And it changed his behavior a lot, argues Pavel Bayev, a senior researcher at Norway's International Peace Research Institute in Oslo. Russian Bear bombers went into action, forcing NATO to scramble 10 jets to intercept the Russian warplanes flying over the North Atlantic Ocean last week, a rare show of force near the Arctic. On Monday, Putin quietly changed Russia's constitution to allow him to stay in power until 2036. He would be 83 years old. Bluffing comes naturally to Putin. He is much more of a manipulator than he is a warrior, says Bayev, in an interview with Fox News. War is always a risk, always a gamble. So I think he is much more about showing off, about posturing, about kind of showing muscle than about going for the real thing, according to Bayev, author of the Jamestown Foundation report War Scare is Putin's natural element. He is much more about gesturing, about signaling, messaging and all sorts of things than about starting a real war. Putin is putting Biden on notice with a figurative, your move, Joe. Facing sagging popularity at home, Putin has returned to a hybrid war with the U.S. President Putin would love to see Russian-U.S. relations reduced to a mano-a-mano battle between him and President Biden, according to Timothy Fry, author of the new book, Weak Strongman, The Limits of Power in Putin's Russia. By testing the American and NATO response time with hypersonic weapons tests in the Arctic, a military buildup on the border with Ukraine and an ongoing crackdown on supporters of his main political opponent Alexei Navalny, now jailed and on a hunger strike, Vlad the Terrible, is signaling he is back and goading the White House to respond. The Russian government is responsible for his health and well-being. We will continue to monitor the situation closely, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki told reporters. Fry urges the Biden administration not to play Putin's game. Putin has come to increasingly rely on repression of his political opponents, and I take that as a sign of weakness rather than a sign of strength, Fry said in an interview with Fox News. There's already a lot of Putin fatigue in the country. He's run the country for 20 years, and while he remains broadly popular, I think there is a desire within Russia, many elements of Russian society for political change. So is Putin's new war posture just a bluff? Some experts say it is bait for the Pentagon to spend more on expensive next-generation weapons. There is an arms race. There is competition with the new weapons system, including hypersonic, including nuclear, but again, the Russian economy is not the Soviet economy. Arms race is a very hard thing to sustain, particularly when you are competing with United States, Bayev argues. I don't think Putin has a long-term horizon. He is much more about today and tomorrow and maybe a little bit about the day after than about a sustainable arms race. New satellite photos of expanding Russian military bases and weapons tests are raising fears of another Cold War buildup in a possible arms race in the Arctic. Allies say nuclear tests could devastate the delicate ecosystem. A series of recent weapons tests by Moscow and the alarming development of a stealth nuclear-powered megaton torpedo that could devastate cities along the U.S. East Coast with
10 miles out. The article's not done yet, but I can see some validity to that argument there. I'll get to that when the article's done, though.
A series of recent weapons tests by Moscow and the alarming development of a stealth nuclear-powered megaton torpedo that could devastate cities along the U.S. East Coast with radioactive tsunamis has quickly gained the attention of the U.S. military. When 3 Russian submarines burst through the Arctic ice in a synchronized exercise in late March, the Pentagon took notice and Putin praised the naval achievement. Each Russian sub can carry 16 ballistic missiles. We're monitoring very closely. Nobody wants to see the Arctic as a region become militarized, Defense Department Press Secretary John Kirby told reporters at the Pentagon. As rising temperatures and climate change cause the polar ice to melt, the world's great powers are in a race to control the Arctic and its new valuable sea lanes. Russia is refurbishing Soviet-era
northbound 19, exit half a mile. I can take either way, but yeah, northbound 19 will be a little bit more direct, but not by much. I'll go ahead and take this way anyway. I think I could stay on the road that I'm already on as well. I believe this is going to cross under the other side. Of the highway was just on, and because I know 430 and 52, or US 430 and US 52 would ever run on the east side of 19. Yeah, see, I just crossed under that road, which should be 430. I'd go either way, really. Like I said, either way I'm going to end up on what is it, State Route 102, I believe it was. Right lane closed ahead. Tight turn here. It's a 40 zone. It looks like it should be okay there. And I dropped down to less than 35 personally. 40 through here, but yeah, I dropped down less than 35 just for the crossover thing there. Tight lane here. I suspect I would have probably liked staying on 430 better. I didn't see any signs saying no trucks through here. Alright, this is Bluefield corporate limit right here. Get my map up, make sure I know where I'm at in relation to 102. believe I'm still like 6 miles away from what they show as Bluefield, but at least mileage base. But clearly we're in a populated area here. That guy has more wiggle room to work with around the pickup and bin or whatever that is over there. I see a pair of railroad tracks here, basically two sets of tracks. I'm going to have a left turn coming up here. Stay on the numbered highway here. I think 430 possibly would have been a better route. I don't know what 430 is like through town here though, so I mean I could be just getting the wrong impression. Definitely not the most truck friendly turns right here. Doable, but not so doable if there's traffic coming the other way. With all the residential stuff here, it definitely looks like it'd be more preferable to stay away from here. I'm actually surprised it's legal to come through here. I didn't see, like I said, perhaps there should have been signs saying trucks to Bluefield stay on 430 until you get to perhaps the state highway I need to take, but I didn't see anything along that line telling me that. Alright, this is 15 feet, no problem here. Saw that bridge, I'm like starting to shit in a brick, like how short is this bridge? And then I finally saw the 15-foot sign, I'm like, okay, I'm good. Alright, another right turn coming up here at the light to stay on 19. Just stayed on the other road? Seemed like it. Yeah, it kind of looked like it, but I'm just following the Highway 19 signs. It looks like it should be straight ahead. Overshot my turn. Alright, maybe I get turned around. There's like there's a Dairy Queen or something up here. I was supposed to turn left right where I just passed by. Didn't even think about that highway number. Can I turn in right here? There, yeah, maybe I can do that. Products for them anyway. be able to make this. This is not a good turn to make. But I need to get turned around. Let's see if my tandems are clear. Pretty close. Not the best place to turn around, but I got the job done. Yeah, I was talking about that Highway 102 or whatever it was. I wasn't even thinking about, oh, that's 102 right there. I got fixated on staying on 19 that I didn't even think about the fact I needed to turn there. This is not going to be fun now. No, there's nobody there, so. Looks like I got a 17-foot bridge up here. Yeah, I barely made that turn. The tandem's barely cleared that curb. Yeah, this is a goofy place for them to have a freaking distribution center. Okay, now I see why people are saying bad things about turns, because I could have avoided all that stuff before, but this one I can't avoid. I'd rather come through here during the daytime than at night. I mean, at night than during daytime. I'll tell you that. At least I can see headlights coming before I actually see the other person coming. Alright, Falls Mill, 3 miles. 45 zone. Alright, just got a straightaway up here and then a left turn up ahead, or left curve in the road. And not far after that left curve will be a right turn right into their right into their lot. I believe they do have a guard shack, if I understood correctly on the Google reviews. Definitely was not a truck-friendly set of turns right there, though. Alright, here's the left curve coming up, and then my receiver will be right up here on the right side. So some of the more faint-at-heart drivers probably have a little bit more concern with coming to this particular receiver, the industrial intersection. I need satellite view now. Alright. That like it's coming up right up here on the right side. Right here. Yep, this is it. Is there a person in the guard check? I don't see any. There's no light on. Alright, I guess I didn't see anybody in the guard shack there, so we'll probably just back into one of these spots here and then find out. Morning.
Hi there, can I see your bills, please?
Sure can. He's inspecting the trailer, see what the temperature's set at, how much fuel I have, all that kind of stuff. Bobtail here, but this guy stopped me right in the middle of my thing, so.
There you go. We need your phone number right here. Then read this. If you fail to chuck your wheel, the company will charge you $100. And sign a date, please. All right, we're going to put you in door 13.
Okay, that's what I
in front
heard.
of you.
All right.
Go ahead and open your doors, back in, and chalk your wheel. Your lumping fee is $350. If you'll put your express code here, we'll put it on a check that we have in the building. Which service would you like to use?
EFS?
EFS. All right, nobody's allowed in the building, so I'll come back to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Remember to chalk your wheel.
Okay, for the lumper payment, do I do it after we're done?
Do what now?
After the lumper fee is due?
I'll come to you when they're ready to collect.
Okay.
All right. 13 and chalk your wheel now.
Will do. Okay, so I'm getting door 13, which is right here, literally in front of me. To get out of the way of this bobtail here. I can always blindside in. Or at least get out of his way.
You have 5 hours and 31 minutes of remaining drive time.
See what kind of room I have to work with here too. Okay, yeah, I'm more than half a spot over from my. I'm gonna go ahead and go a little bit more forward, get it better. There we go. Now. I can see that other trailer there. Look, I'm actually like I over-rotated. Go a little further over this way. Now, they're really big on that chalking wheels thing. $100 fine if you don't chalk your wheels. And it reminded me several times to make sure I chalked them. Having a hard time trying to figure out how the door lines up with the lines. Okay, so I'm not going to have the greatest backing footage there for you guys because I don't have a mirror on that side, but let me get my chalks in real quick so I don't get fined. Okay, I gotta send my request for lumper payment in. That would be a macro 11 advance request. Driver code $350. Company related yes. Personal events no. Lumper request yes. Yeah, $350. And I won't need an EFS check. All I need is just write the express code down on this piece of paper that he gave me. And that's it. Probably take about 10 minutes or so for that thing to come in, roughly. Alright, so we'll have more footage for you here when I get done. It's docked in right around 5:30. See how long this takes. I will have to look up where to get my trailer washed out along the way. I know there's truck wash in Whitfield. I don't know. I may go that way on the way down. I don't know, but I'm thinking I might want to go back down 19 just for the sake of seeing what it actually looks like there during the daytime hours. Yeah, and it's a shorter distance route by about 20 miles as well. So now we'll see. But all right, so we'll finish this video when they're done here. Or actually, no, we'll go ahead and, now I want to have that as another video coming leaving from here, going down to Morristown. So maybe I'll go ahead and end this one here and start a new one up when it's time to leave here, finish that experience up, get you guys watching 2 videos if you want to see how this whole from start to finish experience went. Alright, and that'll be it. And we'll, as always, with that, I guess I'll just say thanks for taking the time to watch. Just watch for the update to this on my next video, okay? Alright, thanks. See you guys.